Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's show of Youth Empowering the Streets. My name is Shauna Gutierrez.
And my name is Hetty Wang.
And we will be your hosts for tonight's show. Tonight's show is dedicated to bullying, the effects it has on our youth, and what our community and city are doing to prevent it.
Our guests are Andrew Allison, a student and member of the Anti-Bullying Club at De Anza College, and Bernie Rosales from the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force Safe School Campus Initiative. With us first tonight is Andrew Allison, a student at De Anza College and member of the Anti-Bullying Club. He is here to share with us his story of bullying. Welcome to Youth Empowering the Streets, Andrew.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
When did you first experience being bullied? Can you tell us about that experience?
The earliest I can remember was in third grade. There were these two classmates I had that, for no reason in particular, would tease me for how I looked, for having a girl's name as a last name, and they would just point, call names, call me a girl, and on the playground, they wouldn't get too physical, but they would snatch my glasses and try to trip me and such. And it got to the point where my mother had to switch me tracks, which the school had blue track, yellow track kind of thing, and I got switched to another one, so I was no longer in that class. So, yeah.
What actions did you take to stop the bullying?
I tried to avoid them as best as I could while I was in that class. I would try to bring the attention of the teacher to let them know what was going on. I'd avoid them at the playground, and I actually ended up spending a lot of my time in the library because I didn't want to be around them anymore. And whenever they picked on me, a bunch of kids would just laugh. No one really helped, so I became a bit of a bookworm.
And how has this whole experience affected your life?
It kind of taught me that there will be negativity from people for any little thing, but more than anything, I don't feel bad for myself. I feel more bad for them, because usually there's always a reason behind someone being negative due to the fact that they're experiencing either the same thing or something worse than you are. So what I've taken from this is, don't feel bad about someone who is being bad to you. Try to find out the reason why. Hopefully you can help them so it stops. And because most of the times I've learned, like, if you find the root and just make it stop, it gets better. And another instance, when I was bullied, they are actually now a very good friend of mine. They're like very protective of me now, and I couldn't be any more grateful. But it helped me grow up and get thicker skin. Like, the things that bothered me back then, I just shrug off now. I am able to laugh at myself, so I was taught that mechanism. If you can laugh at yourself, they'll eventually leave you alone, because they say it doesn't bother as much.
What advice would you give to someone who's being bullied, and what advice would you give to someone who is a bully?
The advice I would give for someone who's being bullied is, don't be afraid to speak up, even if it's a little thing or not. You should let someone still know what's going on, parent, teacher, or other friends. And if they feel like that it doesn't do anything, they just need to keep talking, because as soon as they go quiet, nobody knows what's going to happen. It's just going to continue. And I don't want to say run away, but it's best to just try to do whatever you can to get away from it. Do not meet them head on. Do not push back, because they'll just keep pushing back harder. never try to meet negativity with negativity. And as for someone who's being bullied, my sympathies do go out because I have probably bullied others and may not aware of it. And I'd say, ask yourself, how would you feel if someone treated you like this? If you feel like you have to bully to get by or to assert yourself, keep yourself on top, there are other ways you can do that are just as positive. If you like take workshops and such, become part of clubs, try to help other people become more of a positive influence than a negative influence, because just going around knocking down people, calling people names, it doesn't get you anything in life. Doesn't any respect or someone believes it will get them, it can easily go away as soon if someone bigger and better comes in.
Well, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your story, Andrew.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Let's take a look at one of our public service announcements focused on the City of San Jose's anti-litter program. When we come back, we'll talk to a few students from De Anza College.
Don't you just love this new trail? It's so pretty.
Well, yeah, but if only it could stay clean.
What do you mean?
Well, there's already a ton of trash over there.
You know we can do something about this? We can call the anti-litter program and they'll give us all the materials we need to clean this up.
Let's make the call. Thanks for coming. Thanks to the City of San Jose's anti-litter program, we have vests, we have pickup sticks, we have trash bags, and we have gloves. Let's get started.
To volunteer and receive your anti-litter kit, call 408-975-7233. Do your part to keep San Jose bright and clean.
Welcome back to Youth Empowering the Streets. We now head to De Anza College, where we interviewed 2 students who are members of the Anti-Bullying Club on campus.
So I'm Rebecca and this is Victoria. And we are both members of the Anti-Bullying Club here at De Anza College. And the purpose of the Anti-Bullying Club is basically to spread awareness throughout our campus community and welcoming, victims of bullying, welcoming people who have been bullied in the past, and kind of just empowering the students here on campus, to stand up against bullying and, just create a loving environment here at De Anza College for all students. And the Anti-Bullying Club has been around for about 4 years now, and I have been a member since spring 2014.
Yeah, the Anti-Bully Club is all about having open arms to people who were bullied, also bullies themselves. It's helped me a lot in my personal experience because I was bullied as a young child, and it always affected me. It affected my self-esteem as I got older. But being in this club, it helped me to cope with those problems. I met others that had a similar experience or even worse experience. And also I met bullies themselves that came from a certain background, and it helped me to understand where they came from and why they did certain things. And it helped me to understand that there's different types of people and everybody comes from different types of backgrounds, and this club is here to unite them and unite everybody and to make people understand where each person came from and why they did their actions. And we're here to forgive bullies, but we're also here to help people that have been bullied. And I really enjoy this club just because of that. It unites everybody, the people who did wrong and the people who have been dealt with the wrong.
If there are any students at De Anza who feel that they are being bullied or in the community, they could definitely contact our club. We are here, and we are here to just support, people who are going through these issues, and, developing a plan on how to resolve, the conflict between this person and that other individual who is attacking, my member or, the student at Dianza, and kind of just outreach to them, because that's kind of what we're about. We're about outreaching to the students, outreaching to the community, and kind of learning to accept people and, understanding their backgrounds and kind of, just helping us unite.
And going along with what Rebecca said, we're here with open arms for people. We're here for people that feel they are getting bullied here on campus. So if you do ever have problems, please come to us, talk it out. Even if you don't want to approach the bully themselves, we are here for you to vent, for you to relate what is going on in your life.
We now have with us Bernie Rosales from the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force Safe School Campus Initiative. Welcome to Youth Empowering the Streets. Bernie, tell us a bit about your program, Safe School Campus Initiative, and how it is related to anti-bullying.
Hello, thank you for having me. And the program I work with is called the Safe School Campus Initiative, and we work with all the schools in Santa Clara County and helping them with any gangs and violence issues. And at times it might involve kids that are starting to get into gangs or getting pressured into gangs. And we kind of help them get out of it or avoid those situations by giving them options, little tips and tricks on how to stay out of gangs. At other times, maybe two people have gotten themselves in a situation where the whole school is looking and ready for them to fight. And we kind of jump in and do a mediation and give them an option on how to stay out of, because a lot of times they don't really want to fight, but they don't want to look like a punk in front of the campus. So we'll kind of, by doing a mediation, we give them an option to get out and save face. At other times, it might be someone that's getting pressured to join the neighborhood gang. And so we got people threatening them on the way to school, or maybe the enemy neighborhood is making threats to them. And again, we could assist in that situation, and it might be something as easy as talking to some of the other people that's making those threats, or again, giving them different options. Maybe if you were in a sports league, or if you had a job, maybe it would give you less time in the neighborhood or in the streets, and that way you're not really around to get bullied. And then there's other times where maybe we have, because it's not just gang stuff, we deal with violence prevention. So maybe they're getting threatened, or there's a lot of people making someone feel uncomfortable on the lines of their race or their sexuality. We'll start off by talking to the people that are bullying them. By the time I'm talking to them, I'm from the city of San Jose, so they need to know, well, now the city knows, now the county knows. And so, and then we'll refer them to a program to kind of help, again, strengthen their resolve to stay out of that trouble.
So how did you get involved in Safe Schools Campus Initiative?
So I know in my younger years, I used to be involved in a little bit of negative activity. And that was back around the time the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force had just started in 1992. A buddy of mine got a job with our program back in 92 or 93. He went straight before me. And so when I finished I was actually in college, just blessed enough to go to college. And when I got out of college, I didn't know where I was gonna fit in, where I was gonna work. And when I tried to go in the regular world with my little degree, I didn't really fit into some of those professional settings. So I ended up having to call my buddy and ask him if they were hiring with the city. Just by some stroke of luck, they were hiring right then, so it took me like 6 months to a year to get the job, but I dropped the application and did what I had to do to get with the city, and I've been here 15 years ago. I've been there ever since.
How do your programs deal with the issue of bullying?
So at times, again, it might be an issue of just doing a mediation between the two people that are about to fight, again, if they're being pressured. But then at times you might have like another group that's making threats on one person for whatever reason. It might be a gang making a threat, maybe it's the football players. But if we don't do a mediation, we'll go over there and talk to them individually. I know usually we try to find out who the main guys are, the ones doing the instigating, and we'll just kind of try to de-escalate it that way by letting them know we're kind of aware of this right now, and the fact that I'm aware of it right now means the police department is probably aware of it. So either they could settle it at my level, or I could just step out of the way and let the police department do their thing. And given those choices, they usually choose to do it our way and just kind of leave it alone. You know, and again, a lot of times they also put it on Facebook, or they'll put it on Snapchat, and they think they could delete it and it goes away. And I'm kind of the guy there that's kind of giving you the warning before the police come, so that no one has to get in trouble, has to go that far. And I kind of remind them that you could delete it all day, but there's so many ways that they could pull up this information. Even if it's deleted 2 years ago, they'll still be able to pick up that little Snapchat that you think disappeared.
So have you seen a decrease in bullying incidents since your program started?
In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. Maybe the physical bullying isn't as much right now, because a lot of times, the youth I see today, they're a lot more caring for each other. So a lot of times they're gonna stop and go, they're gonna stop the person doing the bullying. Go, what's wrong with you? Why are you being that way? But the difference is now we have the internet and you have online. Whereas when I was a kid, you're only bullying each other when you're physically in front of each other, then you go home and forget about it. Now with the internet, you could bully someone all day long. It becomes viral. People you don't know jump in and bully you. So I would say yes and no. I mean, to me, it just morphed. So maybe you might see cyber intervention coming into play soon.
Who would we contact from Safe School Campus Initiative in order to report bullying, and how?
So, I mean, as far as reporting bullying, if it's happening, say, on your campus or in the neighborhood, it's always a good idea to give us a call. But on every campus, every youth has that one counselor or teacher or the one adult in their life they trust. It might even be us from our shop. So I would say start there first. Talk to that nearest adult. Make sure you share it. If you don't share it with someone, of course, it's going to keep on going. But you could also contact our office at 408-794-1630. But again, I mean, I wouldn't try to fight it off yourself. If you feel uncomfortable, you feel uncomfortable. So you got to tell an adult. And if you feel like, well, I don't want to look like a snitch or a rat, tell that adult not to tell people that you said. I mean, most of us are kind of familiar with that situation, so we're going to be able to address that without putting you all on blast and making you look a way that you don't want to look. We're pretty understanding about that, so it's best to tell someone than to keep it in.
Thank you for standing up against bullying and helping those who are being bullied, Bernie.
Thank you for having me.
For viewers at home, thank you for joining us on Youth Empowering the Streets. Remember to report bullying where you see it happening, and if you're being bullied, make sure to ask for help.
See you next time on Youth Empowering the Streets.